where we're also extremely delighted to have with us the head, the Director General of the International Labour Organization, Juan Samaria. And then on my right I have Matthew Steiner, UN Under-Secretary General and Executive Director of the UN Environment Programme. We thought it was a good idea to bring the social and the environmental pillars together here at the final press conference. We wanted to bring the economic pillar, but the IMF couldn't make. We have two of the pillars with us today.
It means that the whole dimension of what we want to do with sustainable development and the impact on jobs is now part of this agenda in a very major way. Why is it important? Because the process of greening of the economy, which I believe will become even stronger as a result of this conference, acknowledges the fact of the changes in production and consumption patterns, and this is what is being said in the document. And one of the elements is the need to analyze individual sectors, and we have worked already and we will continue working on agriculture, fisheries, forestry, energy, resource-intensive industries, recycling, building, and transport. What do we look at? We look at job creation potential, but of course the changes in technology that are going to reduce loss of jobs. First, the data. The second contribution on our part is that if there are going to be job losses, it's important from now to understand that we need to put social protection floor under it. You need to be able to protect the people that are going to be losing those jobs, because you have to recycle in educational terms, you have to, of course, have educational systems that permit you to develop the new technologies, workers for the new technologies that are going to be the ones being setting in.
Little did we know that we would sit here today where unemployment has become perhaps the most corrosive force in many countries across the world, but even in those who had gotten used to the fact that unemployment was not their greatest challenge. A world in which 50% unemployment rates for young people have become a reality. Our work here on sustainable development has to answer the question of employment and livelihoods. Out of our work on green jobs evolved the work on the green economy. I must say, as an executive director of a UN Environment Programme that tried to make the linkages between economic policy, sustainability and equity a central part of answering why 20 years after 1992 we are still not able to present a better balance sheet than we did a few days before the summit with the Global Environment Outlook has to go to the core of this debate. Many in the last 2 days have commented with disappointment and criticism in terms of the outcome document. And certainly there will be many who, from the vantage point of science, from the vantage point of poverty eradication, will look to this document as not having changed the trajectory in and of itself of sustainable development for the coming years. Read the document more carefully and you will find many elements in there that may not have put us on a new trajectory, but that first of all have reaffirmed some fundamental things and have even introduced some new ones. Not least the kind of concept that one referred to, but also reaffirmed human rights. And in terms of the green economy, I think we have, in a sense, focused the discussions about where we need to make progress in the coming years by having put the green economy in the context of sustainable development and poverty eradication much more in the center of our attention. Much of what has not happened in the last 20 years has a great deal to do with economic policy. We have also addressed something here that I think is critical. Sustainable development cannot only be something for some countries to be a focus for. The Sustainable Development Goals concept, even though not yet decided in terms of its content, we now have a commitment that all countries by 2015 will join a framework in which they accept their responsibility for sustainability on this planet. For the first time in 40 years, governments have agreed to give international environmental governance a new level of ability to act. The discussions about the strengthening and the upgrading of UNEP is not about institutional bureaucracies, it is about giving the world's ministers responsible for the environment a different capacity to influence how our global economies and societies will take the issues of environmental sustainability more seriously in the future.